Hey everyone, welcome back to Smarty Tech Fizz. Today, we're diving deep to understand what MCP servers or protocols actually are.
You might have heard of NCP servers everywhere lately, especially wherever there is an agentic AI. But what are they actually? Let's dive in. Think about ChatGPT or Gemini. They are LLMs, large language models. They are basically high level predictors. They have trained on the entire internet so they can predict the best answer to your question, but they can't do everything.
So now take an example. If you ask it to write a message, they will write it. But if you ask it to send it over email or send it over Slack, will they able to do it? No, not at all because they don't know which email, which profile, which Outlook or something else. They don't know anything, so they will not able to do it. This inability to perform real world actions highlights a major problem, especially for developers, the context gap.
As developers, we feel this most in our ID. You are using Cursor or Claude to fix a bug. You ask why my database query is failing. So what AI says is, I don't know, copy paste your JSON here or copy paste your schema here, show me your logs and etc. So by the time you will paste it here, you will basically solve the problem sometimes by yourself only. So this is called the context gap. The AI is smart, but it is blind. It can't see your data, your terminal or your file system. It can't deep dive into your database in real time or exactly what you are asking. So what will it do? It will not be able to do it until unless you will not provide the schema. So this is where MCP comes in. Also, let's take one more real-time example. If you go to GPT and say, hey, book my flights from Delhi to Sydney, it will only give you the instructions for booking the flights. It will not book the flights. Now, if here, let's say, it can interact with some third-party services like Expedia, Air India or something else, any services which can book direct flights based on my preferences. So here AI agents come into the picture. You will share some task, it will link to the some third party services through which it can interact using APIs and book the flights. So here comes in AI agents come into the picture. We will understand it later, like the difference between the chatbot using one LLM calls and the agent which will perform specific task until it's not done.
Now that we know why we need it, let's understand the core function of the Model Context Protocol, or MCP.
So MCP was created by Anthropic to solve the problem of standardization. So what does that mean is, just like in REST APIs, we have standard, like we use JSON, we use specific HTTP status codes like 200 or 400, 404 and 400. There are multiple status code for specific reasons. So why we don't send status code as 7000 or 99 or something else? Because we have standards defined in calling the REST APIs. So MCP is Model Context Protocol, which defines standardization, that how AI agents can connect to multiple tools or talks to a multiple tool. Before MCP, if you wanted your cursor to talk to Slack, you had to write some custom code. If you wanted to talk to Postgres or MongoDB or Google Calendar, any tool, you have to write some more custom code. Sometimes it will connect it using the APIs or sometimes by some servers events. So this is how it has been. These are just a standardization. Protocol means standardization. So now let's break down the name Model Context Protocols. So model here are the AI only, like GPT, Gemini, Claude, which will work on the LLMs. It works with the text, images or videos, right? So in the next we have is the context. The context, actually this is the secret sauce. The better the context, the better the prediction. So by building an MCP servers, the issues we discussed above, like sending a message over the Slack or sending message over the Gmail or connecting to the Mongo database, anything. So anything for these, we are creating the MCP servers which will provide access to Gmail or Slack channels, or we will provide access to PostGDB or MongoDB. So these are the context types using the functions. Next we have the protocols. The protocols are the rules that how we are connecting to multiple MCP servers tools. So for creating a context, we have multiple types. Like we can provide the context through the tools like creating the functions. So capability is to fetch the data from the Slack or MongoDB or somewhere else. We will create the functions. These are simple functions which we will understand in the next part, at how to create these functions. So these functions will itself work as a MCP servers. So we will create these MCP servers, so we can have multiple MCP servers for different contexts. So let's say one MCP server for sending the mail to the Gmail, some MCP servers for connecting to the Mongo database, some MCP servers are connecting to the Postgres DBs. So we can have multiple MCP servers. So now next we have the resources, like how we can provide the context. Like resources, like you can GPT or Gemini, you are adding the data, static data like CSV, images, videos. So this is how we are providing the context to the GPTs, like or any models. Next we have the prompts. So better the prompts, the better result you will get. So this is like a template for the client. So what actually you want from the agents. So this is how we provide the context.
A major concern often arises when giving AI access to local data. Is it safe to grant an AI to access to my local database? The answer is definitive yes. Here is why. Let's say you are creating an MCP server to connect it to your Mongo database. Now, the MCP server stays entirely on your local machine. The AI doesn't get a key to your data. It must ask the server for permission for every single action.
The MCP server stays entirely on your local machine. The AI doesn't get a key to your data. It must ask the server for permission for every single action. You maintain complete control over the process. The complexity of setting up these secure systems is rapidly decreasing, making this technology accessible to everyone, not just system engineers. By 2026, you won't need to be a systems engineer to set this up. With one-click installs in tools like Cursor and marketplaces like Smithery.ai, you can find hundreds of pre-built servers and be up and running in seconds. In our next video, we will show you exactly how easy it is to install pre-built MCP servers and even how to start creating one yourself. So, to recap, MCP is the universal language that finally lets AI use your tools and interact with its environment securely. The true potential of MCP is realized when you build a custom tool for your company's private API or a niche database. In Part 2, I'm going to show you exactly how to build your own MCP server from scratch. It's much easier than you might think.
I've put the official documentation links in the description so you can read up on the specs. If this was helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to Smarty Tech Fizz.